Okay, now I can't see a lot because I've got a lot of this minimized so I can run this properly. Let's see if I can spread this screen out so I can see some things. Ah, there we go. Now maybe I can see if anybody joins me. No, I don't want to do that. Go away. Lost my Streamlabs thing. There we go. Okay. Here we go. Welcome to the 2024 Draft Lottery. Brought to you by me and PowerPoint and a website that I can't remember the name of. No, I don't want to do that. Go away. I need this back. And I need to see that. There we go. Okay. Now that that's out of the way, let's move on to the rules of the draft lottery that I poached from the NHL draft page. And anybody that's been through a draft watching the real one knows exactly what's happening. If you didn't make the playoffs, you're in the draft lottery. You got odds based on your standing at the end of the regular season. The NHL does a little different. They have balls labeled 1 to 14. They draw 4 numbers and compare it to a reference chart of any possible combination. I don't have time to set up a combination that would be that long. And the site that I found, you basically do have a weighted draft. In this case, I chose 10,000 or 1,000 balls. And as you'll see on the next slide, the odds are listed there, and I did post the odds in the Discord in the draft chat. Just like the real NHL, spots 1 and 2 are up for grabs, so the program runs the draft twice and spits out 2 winners, which could be 1 and 2, it could be 3 and 4, it could be whatever combination. It doesn't distinguish if Team 16 actually wins, but Team 16 can't actually win and move up to number 1. They can only move up 10 spots. Hence, no team can move up more than 10 spots, and no team can fall more than 2 spots. The 2 teams that win get seeded 1 and 2. The other 14 are based on their final position in the standings, and it's done in inverse order. So, with that out of the way, here is the current draft order and the odds. Anaheim, 18.5%, Dallas, 13.5%, Buffalo, 11.5%, Boston, 9.5%, Columbus, 8.5%, Seattle, 7.5%, Florida, 6.5%, San Jose, 6%, Philly, 5%, Washington, 3.5%, the Islanders, 3%, Carolina, 2.5%, the Preds, 2%, St. Louis, 1.5%, and Minnesota and Chicago both end up with the same odds of 0.5. Now, in a 1,000 ball lottery, that basically works out to Anaheim has 185 balls, and at the other end, Minnesota and Chicago have 5. So, making it extremely hard for the lower end teams to win the draft. And with that out of the way, here we go. And the 16th overall pick belongs to the Chicago Blackhawks. And the 15th overall pick goes goes to the Minnesota Wild. So no changes so far. Everything is staying the same. And no, I am not going to drag this out like Sportsnet does and give you all sorts of weird tidbits about their regular season and non-playoffs and who they fired and hired. And I don't have time for that. The 14th overall pick belongs to the St. Louis Blues. So no changes so far. Maybe next year I'll get somebody to co-host this with me and we can have a real blast with this. And the 13th pick goes to the Nashville Predators. So no surprises yet. And the 12th pick is awarded to the Carolina Hurricanes. So we're 5 for 5. Nobody's won. Nobody's moved anywhere yet. Moving right along. The 11th overall pick goes to the New York Islanders. So no change so far. Everything's going as is. We are now reaching the territory that from here on in, any of these teams can actually win the number 1 pick. The 10th pick goes to the Washington Capitals, who had a 3.5% chance of winning the number 1 pick. Maybe I will give a little commentary. And the 9th overall pick goes to the Philadelphia Flyers. So again, nothing's changed. 16 through 9. Nobody has won the draft lottery. And moving along, the 8th overall pick goes to the San Jose Sharks, who in the real NHL this year won the draft. But they were also the worst team in the league. Not quite this year in our league. Number 7 belongs to the Florida Panthers. They had a 6.5% chance of winning the draft and did not. And the 6th overall pick goes to the Columbus Blue Jackets. So Seattle has either finished first or second in the draft. We'll have to wait and see what happens there. Number 5 goes to the Buffalo Sabres. So Buffalo falls from 3 to 5. Meaning one of those top 3 teams is moved somewhere. The 4th overall pick goes to the Dallas Stars. Dallas moves from 2 to 4. Meaning that Boston and Seattle are your winners of the draft lottery this year. We just have to see where they end up. The number 3 pick goes to the Anaheim Ducks. So they fall from 1st to 3rd and lose out on Macklin Celebrini. Okay, the moment of truth. Who has the number 2? And the number 2 was won by the Boston Bruins, making the number 1 pick the Seattle Kraken. I will get this uploaded and posted, and I'll change the draft standings in the draft chat. shortly here. But congratulations to the Seattle Kraken and the Boston Bruins on 1 and 2 in the draft. And we will talk to you all later. Thanks for tuning in.